Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. Our mission is to see a world well led. And our strategy to get there? To empower leaders like you to lead every day. So let's get to work.
Welcome to the Lead Every Day show. I'm Randy Gravitt.
And I'm Mark Miller.
And Mark, it is season 5.
Season 5.
That's crazy. We're making progress here. Want to thank all of you who have been listening, been on this journey with us. We're getting ready to start some new content these next few weeks, and it's going to be fun to do. But let me say thank you to all of you who filled out our survey. Mark, we had a bunch of people filled out a survey. We've got all kind of questions that we're going to actually maybe do a summer series to kind of address some of the things that they're talking about. That's going to be fun, and I saw that we're pushing 100,000 downloads now. So how cool is that?
That's great. And the feedback, let's address if it was good. About 80% of you think this is the right length.
That's right.
And so apologies to the 20%. Some want it shorter and some want it longer. But for now, we're going to stay with the 80% that thinks these are about the right length.
That's exactly right. So I've had a bunch of people that have come up to me at events who are listening, and they're saying, like I like that they're short. So maybe they don't want to hear any more anyway. Yeah. So there are a few people who wanted more. So you maybe binge listen and get 3 or 4.
That's right. If you want it longer, just listen to a bunch of them.
Listen to a couple of them. All right. So I'm excited to jump in. We got a new series here. It's really going to fall under the banner of accelerating your success, which is one of the things that we really haven't talked about, but in the way you and I think about things,
right.
We give them a little bit of all 4 parts of what we got on our website. If you go there.
So all of our content is organized around 3 primary tenets. In fact, it's not all the content, but let's start there. 1 is become a better leader. 2 is to improve team performance. And 3 is to strengthen your organization. Now, that sounded good when we first put it together, but we said, well, there's another group of content. There's another domain that actually transcends all 3 of those, and we chose to call that Accelerate Your Success. And in the months and years to come, we've already envisioned some new content that fits in that category that'll serve you well beyond those 3 primary domains. And today's our first chance to talk about that.
And we had a bunch of people. One of the reasons we came up with that, I mean, we feel like it's important, but we had so many people that kept asking these questions that didn't fit in one of these 3 buckets.
Or it fit in all the buckets.
Or it fit in all the buckets, and it was kind of, like you said, an umbrella maybe over all of it. And so, yeah, we're excited about some Accelerate Your Success content. And to make that happen, we got a new book here coming out. I got a book coming out June the 11th. We're a couple of weeks out here, and we got the first couple of copies.
Yeah,
we just received them. Yeah, I'm excited about it. Winning Begins at Home. So this has been in the works for a while. I'm excited about this story here. It's going to be really good. I think it's important for us to win at work. We talk about that all the time. We help companies. We do all these trainings. I know you've been on the road doing keynotes. I did 4 last week. I think you did as well.
I did 3.
I did 4 and you did 3. I don't know. We've been talking. We've been doing a lot of stuff, and it's been great. But I just have heard for years, and this is what made me want to do this book is that people are struggling outside of work. It's not. We got all these executives who work with managers, team leaders, whatever, and they're doing really good at work a lot of times, but the things that maybe matters most to people, they're struggling there. And so I thought it was important for us to put some content out in the world, and there's really just not a lot for leaders that when you think about it. And so we got this book coming, and we're gonna spend some time talking about it here the next couple of weeks, and some of the stuff that really matters outside of work. We talk about the 9 to 5. This is 5 to 9 kind of stuff. This is how do you win outside of work. I always tell leaders, if you win at work and you lose at home, I think you still lose. And they agree with it. Every time I say that, they're like, that's exactly right. I don't want something great here and over here it's all falling apart. So I think it's going to be a relevant topic. I'm excited.
Yes, it's going to be fun. So tell us about the backstory. I mean, you've been talking about this book, actually working on this book for years.
Yeah.
At least that's what it feels like to me. It feels like
that
to
actually
you.
Pre-COVID when I started working on this or thinking about it, and we ended up waiting to launch it, which was great. I'm I think the timing is going to be good. I think the timing is maybe couldn't be better right now because COVID sort of pushed us all home more. I mean, there's more time at home. There was those couple of years that we spent, everybody's working virtual. I don't think a lot of people went back. I mean, I think a lot of people are at home more than they've ever been. And we live in a different world than we did, 5 or 6 years ago when we started, thinking about this concept. And so I think today is a good time for this. But the backstory is really just goes back to, I grew up in a really great situation. My parents were, a good, stable home, and it had so much impact on me. Brother and sister, it was great, and it really did influence me in such a great way. And so over the last probably now 30 plus years, I've worked with so many leaders in all kind of different organizations, different families, all kind of stuff. And I've noticed when you have a strong family, it just ends up being really good for really not just the kids, but for everybody. And when families are not, they're not strong, it makes it really hard. We've all been in families where it doesn't work. And I mean, doesn't matter how good your family, there are no perfect families, by the way, but no matter how good it is, it's really hard when it's not good. And I know all families don't look the same. And there's people that aren't married, people don't have kids, people have been married. I mean, there's all kind of situations out there. And I think this book is going to actually be an encouragement to anybody who's really trying to think about their life outside of work. So I wanted to create a blueprint. We're going to talk more about that as we go, but I wanted to create a blueprint for helping people think through and have a strategy for winning outside of work. So that's sort of the backstory a little bit there on that. And that's our heart. So
That's great.
I think it's going to be helpful.
It's going to be fun to dig in. But say something about the style or format of the book.
Yeah. So years ago, so the book is written in a parable format, and I say the book is written in a parable format. The last 70 or so pages of the book are an activation guide, but there's a 120-page story basically about a businessman who. He's pretty successful at work, but outside of work, he's struggling. He's got a family, 3 kids, wife. And so I chose to write it in a parable format. I go all the way back to, you and I had this conversation, maybe, it's been probably 15 years ago, where you had written some books and you actually started out with that format yourself. Your first several books were in parable format. And I've been really encouraged by several people that write in that style. I'm a storyteller, and I think people connect with a story maybe as well as anything. I mean, it's just such a good medium, and I think in this particular story, I won't give the story away, but I think that people will see themselves in several of the characters in this thing, and it'll just give them some language to think about what's going on outside of work. And so I don't know. I thought it was a good, simple way to put some concepts out. I think it makes it maybe even a little easier to read. It's a fun story. It's built around a guy who this business guy ends up becoming an assistant baseball coach. He gets roped into this. He has girls, but he gets roped into coaching these little league boys. And the guy who is the head coach sort of is the guru of the book, and he walks him through and helps him. He's a successful business guy as well, or has been, and he walks him through some of the principles. And so that baseball part of it really goes back to a little bit of a tribute to my dad, who he was our baseball coach and helped us with some stuff. And so I thought it would be a fun way to tell the story.
Good. All right. So we're going to jump in the coming episodes to some of the principles and practices. What's your closing word as we end this session?
I think I would leave them with that phrase: if you win at work and you lose at home, you still lose. I mean, there's so many things and it's every area of our life, not just our family life, but there's so much that we can do there. I do hope people will get the book. I'll mention today, you can go to winningbeginsathome.com, and we're coming out June the 11th with this thing. And so we're just a couple of weeks away. If you pre-order right now, one of the things I'm excited about is our team has put together a bunch of bonuses. I think we're giving them access to our academy, but there's also a Winning Begins at Home course that I've done that'll I think it's going to help some leaders really build this blueprint mindset. I think it's $150 worth of stuff. If they pre-order the book and they put you can order it anywhere you get your books, but you put your order number in at winningbeginsathome.com. And it'll unlock all that stuff.
And that course is a video.
It's a video-based course. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun for people to have, and you can watch it with your team, with your small group, with your family. I mean, there'd be a lot of different ways that you could utilize that course. But I think it's going to help a lot of people. I hope you guys will keep coming back and have this conversation with us the next few weeks. I think it's great to win at work, but we really want to help you win outside of work. All right, remember, the best leaders lead every day.